Welcome back, guys. Trying to plant some potatoes here, and I've been beating the elements of the rain and all sorts of things, but anyway, we'll get into planting some potatoes. So we've had heaps, well not heaps, but we've had a bit of rain, about 15 mil today, which is pretty good. As you can see, the mini swales in this potato bed, which I'm going to be planting the potatoes in. It's got water sitting there, hydrating down through the system on my mini swales. The pond system, which I've been trying to do, we'll go over here and have a quick look. That's another video. So basically, all that rain is still coming through on the overflow system over here, but what I haven't put underground yet is turned into a big pond. So anyway, that's another video which we'll get into at another time. At the moment, we're going to plant some potato. So before I start, I'm going to show you the potato I've got here. So we got 30 kilo of potato last crop, and we've got some leftovers here. As you can see here, it's all starting to chit. Chit means that it's starting to sprout, and we're going to use that. Now we're going to have a bit of a trial one here, because before they started doing that, I had a little bit of chit and the potatoes that are still usable. And this is around about 2 months ago. And what I've done is I've actually cut, well, that's a broken one. I've actually cut that bit off the potato before I cooked them. And I'm going to do a bit of a trial about how much we can just take a little bit of the top off and plant them in the ground and see whether they work or not. So there's around about 40 of them there. And then we've got the other potato. So remember, I brought potato last time. 2 different varieties. Can't remember what they are at the moment. These are the ones that are left over from us eating all the potato. And we're going to, I'm starting to chit a little bit right there. But the bulk of them are doing that little chit thing there. And they're not leggy or anything like that. These are about 2 months of sitting in a outside, but like with a cover over the top of them, and drying out the bottom of them. They're still a little bit moist in that, and that's like, well, we'll see how we go with actually cutting a little bit off the potato and planting the rest. So 2 months of sitting there. They're not leggy. We're going to be putting them in this bed right here, which is the old potato bed. And as you can see from here, we've still got potatoes that I must have left, and they decided to grow by themselves. Another one over there. There's more over here which were eatable, but unfortunately I just left them there and they just went green from being in the sunlight. We'll plant that one out. Okay, I'm going to take off the top level of the mulch, which is there, and for now I'm going to make the rows and we're going to plant the potatoes. And this is autumn, 3/4 through autumn in subtropical Queensland. Okay, I'll peel that back and then we'll get back. So I'm going to peel back this section here. I do it one-handed here. I'm just basically peeling back the old compost. So we'll peel that back and I'll throw it over the side here for now. And I'm going to make check out how the moisture is, how compacted the soil underneath it is, which it feels pretty good. probably just do that with it, just with the fork, just to aerate it a little bit, and then make some grooves in there. Remember, this is last year's compost, which is still stopping the weeds. As you can see, there's jack shit weeds in there. I'm going to get that out because we're going to put that back on over the top later. We got about 30 kilos of potatoes out of this bed last year. Now we're reusing these potatoes here, which ends up being 5 kilos of potato, including the weight of this crate. So I'm not sure how much that crate weighs, but anyway, we're not spending any money on potatoes. We're just going to reuse what we had last year. Let me peel back this and then we'll get back into it. Okay, so I've peeled back the compost. Well, not really compost, but it's getting there. Peel back the mulch that I've had over this bed and have a quick look at the soil. I can just dig down there with my hands. No worries, easy. So there's no use. Don't need to re-dig anything, which I'm not going to. And now I'm gonna put some rows in there to plant potatoes. Last year I went this way. This year I'm gonna go this way. Make some little furrows there with the hoe. And before I do that, I will broad fork it, which, as you know, I don't actually have a broad fork. So I'll just be basically using this to just aerate it a little bit, like that. Don't want to dig the whole bed up. As you can see, it's nice and easy from last year to just uncompact it a little bit and aerate it a little bit. Don't take long. Obviously, when I did originally dig it, took a long time. Now it's not taking so long. And that's what I'll be doing. Before I do that, I'll be throwing a little bit of rooster booster on it. Well, I already started the quarter of it. So as you can see, nearly probably 1/8 of it already done within a couple of seconds. Anyway, I'll throw some rooster booster or some organic chicken pellets over the top of it and aerate it, and then make the farrows, should I say, to get the bed going. So what I'm going to be using is this dynamic lifter standard pellets, which is a organic fertilizer, as it says there. I'm going to be grabbing some of this. I'm just going to be sprinkling it on last year's bed, just like that. Give it a little bit of fertilizer. Nothing too dramatic. That's half the bed done. A little bit more. And a little bit more over this side. So not heaps. Throw that in there, and got the 4-wheeler with the potatoes as you saw before. And while I'm here, got some stuff for the chickens, some of the bananas that didn't want to ripen up. And chickens over there saying, "Hey, what are you doing? Feed me." So, all right, we'll feed you. Hey girls, you hungry? Yeah, I know you are, Rooster Boy. There you go. Whoop. Better switch it off before I get electrocuted. No, I forgot to switch it back on last time by the looks of it. Yeah, I know. You got plenty of stuff there. Eat up. Alright. Keeps them happy and we'll get back to planting potatoes. So I spread that out. Now I'm going to fork that up a bit. I'm going to use this fork, different than the last one I used, but same sense. A few potatoes from last season. We're just going to basically aerate it a bit. That's what I'm doing. I'm not digging, just aerating. A little bit of moisture here. Probably go from the middle and then go back over to the other side. And that's how I'm preparing it. As you can see, it really isn't much compared to what I had to do with digging it all. Now it's nice and easy. And this is really 12 months from last time I prepared the bed. As you can see now, it's nice and low maintenance. That's what you want. Not going to rotary hoe it and constantly dig it up and kill the worms and wreck the biology of the soil I'm producing. And as you can see from this side, there's not actually much I'm actually adding, apart from a bit of that rooster booster. Anyway, I'll finish doing that and we'll get back to it in a sec. Okay, so not long after, just made a few furrows in there which you probably won't be able to see. Maybe from over here you might be able to see a bit better. So the furrows where the potatoes are going to go into. Nice and easy, hasn't taken me long. It will when you originally start it, but after that it won't. Still using this hoe, basically try to do it one-handed. We're just making room for the furrows. It's a little bit wet from the rain we had, which wasn't real good for what I'm trying to do today, but not going to complain about rain. So making the furrows across there for the new potatoes, to go in. Now I'm trying not to disturb the soil as much. Two-handed, obviously better. Just trying to show you what I'm doing here. And don't forget these little guys. Chickens love them. Every now and then I find them. And I know they like eating the roots, the roots, so I'm giving them to the chickens. The chickens really love them. Here you go. You want some of this? There's one there. Eat them up. Good girls. Back to the potatoes. So we're going to make these furrows. I'll finish doing them and we'll get back into it in a sec. Okay, so quite quickly and easily I've converted these old beds without digging and just broad forking to give a bit of aeration, and it would be a little bit easier if we didn't have all that rain, but anyway. So now we're going to get these here. So as I said, we've got two. We've got the normal ones. I've a little bit left over, the 30 kilo potatoes I harvested last year. Not going to cut all of them. These ones here, as I said, were the tops of ones I was harvesting. 2 months at least of just sitting there in the shade, and they're not going really long and leggy so therefore I think they're going to be fine, but it's going to be a bit of an experiment. So first we'll grab this tray here, and remember I'll be using these video as well for own reference for myself to see how everything went. I might not even have enough. This is where we got the 30 kilo last year, but might even have even more. So I'm not paying for potato seed anymore. And we'll put that there, and we'll be grabbing these and we'll be just be throwing them in. Now they do say to have more spacing than what I'm doing, but after I actually grew them last year, I found there's heaps of spaces in between the potatoes. Mind you, weren't huge potatoes. I'm hoping these will acclimatise a little bit more this year around. Well, hasn't been over 12 months, but anyway. So I'm basically going to put them there like that, of them ones as an experiment. And these ones over here, sure you don't want to watch me plant potatoes the whole time. They're going to be the same potatoes, not cut. Could cut them. Normally they say 3, but I'm just going to be throwing them in there like that, basically. I'm not even going to worry about what points up, or the ones that there's nothing on the bottom, I'm going to try to get pointing up. And that's what we're going to be doing. For them, we'll head over here. I'll throw a row in. Now, I'm no expert on potato growing, but what I'm doing so far is working. So I'm going to keep doing it. As I said, I probably have got too many potatoes for this little section I've got here. That's basically what we're doing. So don't be shy. Plant some potatoes. It's starting to rain again, so I'm going to quickly plant them out and then show you when I cover them up, put the mulch pack on. Okay, we'll see you soon. Okay, so we've got the potatoes planted out. These are the normal potatoes that I grew last year, so it cost me nothing. And they're in that bed. So quite a few. I planted them a lot closer than recommended. Last time I planted them what was recommended, and I had heaps of spaces in between potato. This side here is the little ones that I took 2 months ago and just took the top off or even multiple spots off the potato while they were still okay to eat. 2 months later, they're sitting in a cool, dry place, as I mentioned. Wasn't enough to do the whole bed, so these ones are back to the full potatoes on this one row at the top. And I'll use this video as a reference, as I do for most of my videos. So 1, 2, 3, 4 of the experiment of just cutting the top off the potato that had started chitting, and then the rest of the potatoes from my last potato harvest. And I've got around about that much left, and I'll probably bring them upstairs even though it's been raining on them, so hopefully they don't go yuck. That one hasn't got anything happening. I'll probably plant them somewhere else. I got done with the garlic from yesterday's video. Don't forget to watch that one too. Alright, so what I will do is cover them up. My trusty little hoe. And remember, I'm not digging this bed up. I'm just trying to keep the biology there as much as I can. I'm going to try this one-handed again. After watching the last video and then doing it without it, I realised that it was a lot easier with 2 hands. So basically just covering them up. Now, I ain't no professional potato harvester. But I did pick potatoes when I was younger. Should have took them more note what they were doing. But this is organic. As you know, that's the way I like to do my stuff. So it's quite easy after digging this original bed, which you call it tilled or you don't, whatever you want to call it. Digging it up, I don't dig up my beds anymore. Had to dig it up the first time around because the beds are obviously in compacted soil, and the mulch is going to go over the top of this. Hope it's better than the last video of my garlic planting, because I really looked at that and I realised I was too busy looking at what I was actually doing to actually seeing that. See, that's a potato from the last crop, which is right there, which is perfectly eatable. I'm trying to show you how easy this can be. Things don't need to be difficult. As you can see, I don't need to dig it. When I done these 8 beds, it was difficult. And to tell you the truth, I didn't never finish it. See that one there? That's at number 8. Never actually finished that because it's a mish to dig that to get to the state I am now. But now it's easy. Well, easy as. And I'm not, as you know, I'm not well, so I'm just trying to do what I can do when I can do it. Here at southeast Queensland, we've finally got to a stage where it's under 30 degrees. Anyway, I'll think you understand what I'm doing here, so I'll come back after I put that mulch back on. So what I'm going to do is a little bit different. I don't normally add any more fertiliser, so to speak, but I'm going to throw a little bit more of this lifter if I can find my little, here it is, here wet, probably not a good idea, but anyway, I'm going to throw a little bit more over the top, not much. Used 2 scoops before, as you saw, and there's that potato from the old potato plants that just reseed themselves, so I'm just going to use 1 right over the top. Okay, well, I used too much over there, so it's going to be 1.5. Over the top. It's something a little bit different for me. But anyway, I'm going to put it on. Try to keep this as organic as I can. Well, it is organic apart from the, obviously the treated pine posts. Well, not posts, but treated pine edging I've got there. It just becomes a barrier for the weeds. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some mulch back over the top of that. So let's head down this way. Find some of that mulch. Now, I don't know if you saw my garlic video, but if you did, it was the last one. So come and have a look there. That's underneath there. It shows you how I've done my garlic. You're running out of time, depending on where you are in the world, to plant your garlic, onions, potatoes before winter comes. So this is, as you saw from the last video, this is just rotted down hay that's got no seed in it. Just been sitting and resting, which is the way I like it. And we're going to use that as the mulch. It is getting dark here, so I need to hurry up on this video. As you can see, some of it's still dry, some of it's wet. And we're going to throw that through over the top. Pretty much like this. Stop the weeds from coming up, and then we're going to use the older stuff, which is down along the side. We'll start from the start of the video. That over the top. It's starting to rain again on me. Mulch is important here to actually get the microorganisms going there from decomposing, and stop the weeding, stop the weeds from growing. As you know from all my other videos, you can see this bit here, pretty dark and almost composted. I'm pretty happy with the way the potatoes are going at the moment. It's the second crop on this bed. There's another bed that went well as well. So we're throwing this compost that's already, well, it's meant to be mulch, but it's compost. This is how I'm growing my potatoes. Now, as I said, remember that this is potatoes. It's not costing me any money for a seed. Anyway, it's starting to rain, so I'll finish doing that. I'll be quicker doing it with two hands. I'll see you in a sec. Okay, so between the rain and the darkness, it's all been done. So it was probably all up maybe a 15-20 minute exercise. So it doesn't take long once your beds are established. So just keep that in mind when you want to grow potatoes, and it's going to be a long-term crop. So you won't need to do much in actually maintaining it, apart from just giving it a bit some water, and then you'll be able to harvest heaps. So hopefully we got 30 kilo last time, and hopefully we'll get more than 30 kilo this time. Anyway, time will tell, because this time around paid nothing for the seed, and as you can see from over there, it might be a little bit too dark to go over there, but the mulch has all been put up. So thanks for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe. I really appreciate the support, and it helps my small channel help grow. And there's a lot, well, I think there's a lot of content that will help other people out. Just an average guy growing vegetables, and a lot of you viewers will probably be the same. Just, you know, guy, girl, anyway, average people growing vegetables. All right, we'll see you next time.